center of mass, the actual rotational axis is somewhere else, so we added that first mass. And then second rod, again, 112 md square is for this axis, center of mass of the second rod. We added additional term, and this is for the last mass there. Okay, so we have all the terms, and when you calculate, remember that what I was talking about. So there will be two terms. One is capital M and d square, and another is small m and d square. So when you calculate, simplify some number with this and some number with that, and then you plug in the values and calculate. Otherwise, you have to do lots of calculations if you just keep all these terms, right? So that is, of course, should be the strategy. Less calculation, less possibility of mistake. You do more calculations, there will be higher possibility of doing calculation in the mistake in the calculation. So that's not suggested. Okay. So any question, anything? Remember, this kind of thing, there is a possibility of showing up in the exam for a compound system. It is composed of lots of other components, like we have here 4, and you might be asked to find out I, right? So once you calculate I with these numbers, of course, you can find the kinetic energy. That was the second part, with just half I and omega square. Omega is given. Okay. So that's that. If no questions, then I will discuss about this one. Let me see whether everything is fine. Seems like. Okay. So this problem here is, of course, remember we did the first one, that was one pulley and one mass. So this time what we have is, we have a pulley disc, and on both sides 2 masses are hanging. Okay, and so these are sort of typical setup. It's called Atwood's machine. And here what is given is the block 2 means this one is released, and then it falls 75 centimeters in 0.5 seconds, right? So if that is given, can I find out its acceleration? Yes. Are you listening? So this is we have done. This object is falling some distance, and how long it took, that is given. Is it possible to find out what is its acceleration? Yes. Are you listening? Where are you? This is not chapter 10 at all. This is chapter 4. So some of you always ask is, what is in the final? Are we going to have before mid or after mid? So before mid things you always need. It doesn't. I mean, the problem will refer to that. Who left? Khalid left the meeting. Probably network connection. Yes. Rest of you, how do I find the acceleration if the object is falling 75 centimeters in 5 seconds? Yes. Did I lose the network? Let's see. No. Network is there. Yes. Are you listening? Abidal, Anwar, you want to say something? No? His mic is on, probably by mistake or something, I don't know. So, yes. Oh, you are trying? You say something. You don't have to write it on the piece of paper. How do we do it? I didn't ask for the answer. I asked for the way how to find it. Yes, because this is chapter 4 and we have done chapter 4 a long time ago, right? It was in the mid included as well. Okay. So how do we find it? Nobody is saying anything. That means
So
you are
S is
not.
equal to half it
Huh?
square.
Which formula?
So S is equal to half it square.
S is equal to, means what you are trying to say is, if I take this as y, because the problem is that is it's saying that, right? So that means let's take that. Oh, I have the cartoon diagram, so let's work on the cartoon diagram. So this is my diagram, and then let me change the diagram a little bit, because with this diagram there is nothing wrong. So yeah, I wrote this, but there was nothing wrong with this diagram. That I didn't send it to you, otherwise you will keep on looking. Okay, so what I was talking. So this M1 is falling. This is M2, right? So no, M2 is falling, and M2 is falling. We can say that, well, this is my y-axis, and let's take this as plus because it's falling. Otherwise, we'll have a little bit of issue in there, right? So if that's true, then what we can do is, of course, y minus y naught, right? So S is, of course, you memorize something in 11, 12 class what it says, but that's always not going to be the most um, convenient way of writing, because there could be a little bit of issue with that. So we had this, and this is, of course, V naught y t minus, for us it's plus because we took down as plus, our everything is plus, right? Half t square, right? So that's it. Time is given 0.5 seconds, and how far it fall, that is also given. So y minus y naught is given, and then v naught y. What is v naught y? Initial velocity or speed? Yes. So it's also given then when we release from rest, right? So that means it will start with 0, right? So that means that will be 0,